And our next guest says divorce is not an option. Stephen James Dixon is a husband, a father, relationship expert, and the author of 2 books, Men Don't Heal, We Ho, and his latest, Love Capacity. You gotta love it. Stephen has developed a quiz to go along with his latest book.
Okay, so Jean and I actually took this quiz before the show, and we have our love capacity results. But first we want to say hello and welcome back to relationship expert Stephen James Dixon. So it's good to see you again.
Yes.
I didn't realize the last time you were in, I did tell you that Jean was off having a baby. I apologize.
I must have funny is that it's almost 4 years later, and I'm just finding out when Melissa told everybody.
Jean was gone for a month. I'm like, she's having a baby. She'll be back. No.
It's okay, darling. He's so sweet, though. He was like, so how's the baby? What?
Yeah.
I don't know if I really... Okay, anyway. All right, so we took this love capacity quiz. Now, we're a little concerned. We wanted to put you, on the spot about this because now I think we're both a little panicked about our capacity to love.
I'm not really panicked.
I made my husband do this.
I just
got a big fight over
it. Well, we don't want you to panic. It's not something that we should pursue as something negative. What it is about ascending marriages to a higher level. Our marriages are ending too regularly, right? Marriages are ending over 50% in divorce. And so it's about challenging all of our spouses to say, how can we expand our love capacity? Love capacity is like your tank or your depth or how much you love, how much you can love. And so depending on your scores, it's going to be about how you get from one score to the next. So what I'm always telling spouses is, whatever your score is, don't totally focus in on the score, focus in on how you can increase your score.
And so that's what you mean when you're talking about divorce is not an option. Divorce if you don't think about it as an option and you work on your capacity, then you won't get to the divorce?
If divorce is not an option, it's an approach. It is not saying if you're being abused or anything like that. It's saying when you come into your marriage, and this is how it helps marriages, so when you come into your marriage, you come in with a mindset of divorce is not an option, meaning I'm going to work through all of my problems. I'm going to compromise. I'm going to negotiate. I'm going to sacrifice. I'm going to look for what my spouse needs. How's their love capacity? How can I increase mine?
I think all of that makes total sense, 100% for successful marriage.
But I do have a question.
Yeah, what was that?
About the quiz. Oh, yeah. Is that what you're about to do?
Yeah, but I was going to say, I don't know how, I don't know if I was being too analytical with it, or I was trying to figure out the question seemed very similar, and I'm like, where is he going with this?
And then I wanted in all of the above. Me too. Because some of them, it was like phrases like, and I don't want to misquote it, but it was something like, it was 3 things that you want in a relationship. It was like, I want to be loved, I want my partner to feel loved, and I think communication is good in a relationship.
And Jean and I both,
and
my husband, we wanted all of the above.
In each group, there's a receive statement, a provide statement, and an accountability statement. Those are your 3 dimensions of love. And so they all have an importance. So the first thing I do with love is not just an emotion, it is something that you exhibit. So I want to make sure in order to be able to exhibit it, you got to understand it. You got to learn what love is. And so certain things that are more important when you're going through your dimensions of love than others.
Now, the quiz, when you get it back, it's a 1 to 10. 10, I think, is 10 like 10 you have the highest capacity. So Jean and my husband got 6s.
We're daters.
It said they're daters.
Which I am.
I asked him who he's dating. I don't know. And I got a 5. And that means I don't know. And I feel like I'm really filled with love.
No, see, it definitely doesn't mean you're not filled with love, right? And it definitely means that you can have a great marriage no matter what you score, because your partners understand each other. So it's about understanding how each one of your love capacities work together. So both of you scored a 6, both of you understand love at the same capacity.
And both of us can deal with Melissa.
I was like, I don't know what that means.
Now, what you do in a marriage is you sit down with your husband and says, why did you choose statement 3 in group 4? Why did you choose statement B in group 7, so you can understand each other's capacity to love even better, so you can grow them.
That is cool. That's what I thought.
Okay,
was so
now
nice.
I get it.
Doing it together.
Because before I was like, this test is stupid.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, how am I supposed to choose? All of these things are important.
Right. And so we want you to have certain things that you're building from in your marriage, in your relationship with love. Like one of the things I'm always working with couples on is forgiveness. And people a lot of times don't understand how important forgiveness is in a marriage. Love capacity is the measure of your ability to receive, provide, and be accountable for an unconditional, forgiving, profoundly tender, passionate affection to another person. So it's all of those things that we mix it in, and we call it love sometimes. But I like to break it down, walk it through step by step. It's got to be unconditional. It's got to be forgiving. It's got to be passionate. It's got to be profound. Like, I want people to know and be able to express and exhibit love for my wife. And it's becoming this thing like, oh, that's my partner.
Right.
You know, like, oh, that's my partner.
And they get bored with it. This
Yeah,
is some
yes.
cool stuff. You should take this quiz. You might find it kind of crazy, but you will understand from what he said. So find out your love capacity and more about Stephen James Dixon. Head on to his website right there on your screen, lovecapacity.com. You can also follow him on Twitter at Stephen J. Dixon. Thank you so much for joining us and having the patience to explain that to us.
Thank you for having me.
It definitely opens up the conversation, too. It really, really does.